Okay, just to give you a little bit of a heads up about how all this is going to work, when you see a screen like this where it says task at the left hand side and then there's some more writing, that's when I want you to pause the video and follow the instructions on screen. It'll normally be up for about 20 to 30 seconds to give you a chance to pause it, and if there's some information that you need that's behind the writing, I'll make sure that there's a slide following that shows you the information that you need. So whenever you see a task, just pause the video and do the task. Welcome to Lesson 1 of Youth by Isaac Asimov. Today's learning intention is to learn about Isaac Asimov, the writer of our piece, and to practice taking notes from a video. And our success criteria today are that you can fill out the biography sheet attached with this document, and that you can use the information from the video to fill out the worksheet. Let's get started. Right, so here's how this is going to work. I'm now going to give you lots of information about Isaac Asimov, going from his birth all the way to his death. If you need to pause the video at any time, you can to write down information on your biography sheet, and you can go back and re-watch the video as many times as you need, but you need to make sure that you have that document completely filled out by the time you're done. So, let's get started in 3, 2, 1. Isaac Asimov was born January 2nd, 1920. He was first and foremost a scientist and studied biochemistry. He was later a professor of biochemistry at Boston University. He was originally a zoology major and wanted to study zoology, but after they asked him to dissect an alley cat, he refused and switched majors. He almost always wrote science fiction, focusing largely on things like robots and extraterrestrials, and wrote books such as I, Robot, which was later turned into a film starring Will Smith, Foundation, The Bicentennial Man, which was turned into a film in the 1990s starring Robin Williams, books as well like The Naked Sun, The Last Question, and The Liar, in which he coined the term robotics. He won more than a dozen annual awards and half a dozen lifetime awards for his science fiction writing, and he also was awarded with 14 honorary doctorates from various universities. Some interesting facts. He was a claustrophile, someone who enjoys small spaces. It's the opposite of someone who's claustrophobic. He had quite a lot of scandals involving women, and especially women at conventions, which is why it was really easy to find photographs of him with women looking uncomfortable. He considered himself to be sort of comedic and funny in the way he approached women, and a lot of the time women didn't think so. He also thought of himself as a feminist, and believed in women's rights, and also fought for gay rights at a time when this wasn't particularly popular. He had a heart attack in 1983 and was taken to the NYU Medical Center and given a triple bypass. During the surgery, he contracted HIV. The doctors decided to keep this a secret as they thought it would be unfair on his family, who would suffer the stigma of him dying from AIDS. He died on the 6th of April 1992 in Brooklyn, New York. And I want you to do a little bit of numeracy. I want you to take the birth date and death date that you've written down and work out how old Isaac Asimov was when he died. Remember to take into account whether or not he'd had his birthday yet. The story that we're going to read isn't one of Asimov's works on robots, but that is primarily what he is famous for. In fact, the world's most advanced robot currently is called Asimo, named after Isaac Asimov. So what I want us to have a little think about today is what kind of robot you would build if you could build any robot ever. Would you build something fast and slick and cool? Would you build something capable of fighting? Or would you build something incredibly irritating? So I want you to take a few minutes now and draw and design a robot, explaining what your robot would be used for and what it would be good at, and what its different features are. So take a few minutes, pause the video, and create your own robot. Asimov is most famous for his 3 laws of robotics, which are that a robot must not injure a human being or, through inaction, allow a human being to come to harm. A robot must obey the orders given to it by human beings, except where such orders would conflict with the first law, and a robot must protect its own existence as long as such protection does not conflict with the first or second laws. Some scientists are still arguing that these laws created by Asimov for fiction are what we should use to program robots. Now I'd like you to have a think about your own robot that you've designed in the last task. I want you to create 5 laws of robotics, like Asimov's, that your robot will follow. What can it do, and what can it never do? You decide and write those down underneath your robot. At the end of each week, there will be a short quiz. So now I want you to highlight 2 facts from your Asimov biography sheet that you think will be included in the quiz. So let's review. How well have we done today? Have you got your completed biography filled out, and do you feel like you know a few more things about Isaac Asimov than you did at the start of the lesson?